The newest reports that have come out, the Nets are not giving Kevin Durant anything that he is asking for, and Kevin Durant is frustrated. We're also going to be diving deep into what I truly feel Kevin Durant wants to have happen and why these super max contracts with all of your buddies is a terrible idea and it's killing the NBA. I am your NBA white guy. I discuss all things hoops from a hooper's perspective. We usually don't talk about contracts, legalities, if any of that works. It's just straight up hooping and if these dudes can carry themselves to a championship. Now, if you like that kind of content, then consider subscribing and you hit the bell so you're notified every time I do a new video. So the newest thing that has come out is that Kevin Durant is getting very frustrated. Now, I truly believe that the entire goal of him being outspoken about getting traded or having Sean Marks and Steve Nash out of the Brooklyn Nets is because he wants to play with his boy. There has been no grumblings between Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. No matter how crazy Kyrie got last season, didn't play, no vaccine shot, whatever, and I don't care where you sit on the vaccine shot, you can be either way. Kevin never spoiled his conversations and his reputation by talking badly about Kyrie Irving. That tells me one thing. Again, from a hooper's perspective, they love playing with each other. They're tight friends. He still wants to play in Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving. What Kyrie Irving did is try to get his contract extended. The Brooklyn Nets said, we're not having it. So the other thing that just came out, the breaking news, was that in the contract that Kyrie Irving was asking from the Brooklyn Nets, he wanted in there that he only had to play 60 games a season. And now, Toronto Raptors have come out and said that you still can't play here without a vaccine. So there's a few games in itself, but the Brooklyn Nets were not having it. You're going to sign for this contract. You're going to play all 82 games unless there's injuries, of course, but we're not going to sign off that you can just go ahead and miss 20 to 25 games. Plus, with the off-court antics last year, I just think that the Brooklyn Nets have had enough. So they still have Kyrie Irving signed for a year. They wanted to see what he could do. This is the one part on the Brooklyn Nets side that I am totally for. I would love to see these two players play an entire season together and see what they can do. Now, we're going to discuss what these supermax contracts and teaming up with your buddies does. I believe it's absolutely decimating the NBA and why some of these teams that don't have these mega super teams are going to continue winning championships and the ones with all the all-stars are not. But let's take a second to think about this. What happened? Kyrie Irving wanted his contract extension with Brooklyn Nets. He wants to stay there. Kevin Durant wants to stay there. They teamed up and went there. You got Jay-Z as a partial owner. It's a cool place to be. They never wanted to leave. But when Kyrie Irving did not get his contract extension, that is when his homeboy, Kevin Durant, decided, you know what? I'm out of here and trade me too. All of these trade talks started coming about Kyrie Irving. But really, Brooklyn could not get rid of him because the only team that wants him is the LA Lakers. And as much as I would love to see the Los Angeles Lakers get Kyrie Irving, the Lakers knew, hey, we can wait this thing out. We may not have to give our 2 picks away, maybe just 1 pick. And Brooklyn Nets are going to be desperate. But if Kyrie goes back and actually starts playing, then this could muddy the waters a little bit and keep this at a standstill. Now, Kyrie Irving did not get that contract extension, as we all know. Kevin Durant said, trade me. What I believe, truly what Kevin Durant was doing from a hooper's perspective was saying, hey, trade me. I want out of here. For the Brooklyn Nets to come back and say, oh, no, we're sorry. No, we'll go ahead and extend Kyrie Irving's contract. And he was trying to play hardball to get his buddy the long-term contract. That is truly, if you look at it in depth, because they've never said a negative word against each other, what I feel they wanted to do. Now, as the weeks went on and Kyrie Irving was getting all of these different trade talks, Kevin Durant played his next card. He flew to London and met with Joe Tsai, the Brooklyn Nets owner, and he sat down and said, you know what? Sean Marks, the general manager, Steve Nash, the head coach, they gotta go. It's either them or it's me. And what did Brooklyn do? Hey, we back our GM and our coach. So they are now playing hardball again. Kevin Durant, one of the most sensational talents I've ever witnessed. He is probably, in my opinion, the greatest, most unstoppable scorer. And I'm not going to go back to Wilt and to Kareem with the skyhook. Yes, that's the best move, but they were playing old ass dudes and plumbers and like part-time NBA players. I'm talking about get a bucket, 7-footer, unbelievable. But the thing that Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant both hold is no leadership skills. Now, they are leaders in a sense that they are going to always have players playing with them, playing hard, but running a team, running an organization has proven to not work out. Whether it was Kevin Durant in Oklahoma City where they got so freaking close, but they just did not have the ability to get over the hump. And after losing to Golden State, he figured, you know what? that's where I gotta be. Kyrie Irving obviously left LeBron James in Cleveland, and he went over to Boston, tried to be the top dog. He fully admitted this. This is not just people thinking about it. He said, hey, I was 24 years old. I won a championship. I wanted to go out and do my own thing. Now he regrets it. Now he wishes he was back in LA. So do I. But with no trades happening and a month of time going by and Brooklyn not doing anything with Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant wanted the general manager and the coach out. This is the second card that he played that I feel Brooklyn now says, you know what? We're done playing games with you guys. And a lot of that, I feel Kyrie Irving not playing. James Harden's like, dude, what the heck? It's just me playing half the time. So he bounced. The only good news to that, to the Brooklyn Nets, is that they got a bunch of picks back from Philadelphia when they traded for him. But still, you have to realize this team is decimated. And when you watch them in the playoffs, there's no go-to person. There's nobody taking lead. It is just kind of one-on-one ball. Cannot build a team when you have these max contracts all across your team. So now you've got a max contract with Kyrie Irving, and you've got one with Kevin Durant, and the rest of the team is just kind of fill spots here and there. You're relying on Blake Griffin to be a starter, or bringing in Andre Drummond. He's proven not to be effective in today's NBA standards, which may have me thinking that even Kevin Durant with Kyrie Irving, they feel like they cannot win a championship, and maybe they do want out. They want to go somewhere that has that great team culture, has a great head coach, somebody that they can respect. And really, if you understand Kevin Durant, he's a straight up hooper. The dude just wants to ball 24/7 and nothing else. So when it comes to the pressure of the limelight and the press, he's usually deferring everything and calling out the press. Do you remember back in Cleveland when LeBron and Kyrie were playing together, and even if Kyrie made a mistake or something to end the game, LeBron said, that's on me. I take that loss. It's all on me. I'm the leader of this team. That's a lot of pressure off of Kevin Durant. That's a lot of pressure off of Kyrie Irving to just go out there and be incredible hoopers that they are. Top 5 talents in the NBA this generation or generations before. Now, when you have that kind of presence of a LeBron James, or you go to Golden State, you've got Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, these guys who are taking so much pressure off for you so you can go out and just score. And who's at the podium? Steph Curry, Draymond. They will shoulder a lot of that for you to make sure that you go out and ball. Now, when you're leading the team, you are the starting point guard, and you are the starting whatever Kevin Durant wants to play, because he can play anything. You are now having to weather the storm of the news and all of these reporters. And guess where you are? Brooklyn. That is one of the hardest. We all know that the press in the Northeast is the hardest on the players. So what I think needs to happen is, first, you comment down below, if you were the Brooklyn Nets general management or ownership, what would you do with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving? Me personally, being in locker rooms, once this relationship sour like this and the coaches are against the star players, it's over. It's not fixable. It's not like you can come back from this. So you have to realize that Kevin Durant, he's basically said, I'm done with this coach and this general manager. I'm out of here. So yes, he's going to come back and ball because he loves it, but it's just going to be very weird in the locker room. And what happens, you know, again, from a hooper's perspective, the rest of the team sees that and they just don't even really want to be there. They're all going to go out and play, but it's that chemistry, it's that camaraderie that makes championship teams. And when that top dude is saying, I don't even want to be here, it just ruins the entire year. So at this point, I know what Brooklyn Nets want. They want like 5 picks and they want 37 all-stars, but you're just not going to get that. But what if you could get 3, 4 first round, second round picks? And again, I'm not talking legalities, contract, it's just straight up. What if you could get 3 to 4 good picks and maybe some young talent for Kevin Durant? Then once you do that, you can move off of Kyrie, get the at least 1 pick, but if not 2 first round picks from the Lakers, plus possibly Talen Horton-Tucker. I think Talen Horton-Tucker, given a team to where he is not underneath a LeBron James, a positional player, and let him actually play 30, 35 minutes, the dude's going to be a 25 and 6 player. You know, he's going to actually be an incredible scorer, and he's such a young talent. Now, this sets up Brooklyn for the future for many, many years. You've got young talent like Talen Horton-Tucker, who's played underneath LeBron and has that work ethic now and sees what it takes to win a championship. And then now you team him up with 7 new picks, 8 new picks, plus you could probably bring in some other talent from the Durant trade. And now you have this young core nucleus. You have so many draft picks. You have an incredible area that people and free agents actually want to go to. And I think you would be successful for a long time. Now you would have this environment. You do have Steve Nash, who I think was a bad coaching decision. I think he should come in as an assistant and get somebody who's got a little bit more of experience experience, and I do see the advantage of having an ex-NBA player as a coach. You know, they respect it. I think Darvin Ham to the Lakers is a prime example, but the dude was coaching and assistant coaching for like 15 years. So he has been next to some of the top coaches for, you know, over 15 years, working with top teams, and that's where he's gotten his, cutting his teeth, is learning that, especially with Milwaukee winning a championship. But now you give Steve Nash this whole plethora of these young players and this talent and all these draft picks. And my last point is these super teams, from a hooper's perspective, are a terrible idea. It is not working. Now, you might remember when LeBron James went to Miami. That was a super team. There was 3 stars there. But what did all 3 of them do? They took less money. In fact, LeBron James made the least amount out of Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. He had the lowest contract, and they were able to fill the team up with a ton of talent and extra players to get the championships. They even were able to bring in Ray Allen. But when you have Mike Miller, who's a knockdown three-point shooter, Mario Chalmers is a great young point guard, they were able to get these pieces to surround those guys to win. Nowadays, these dudes are taking these supermax contracts, getting their best friend who's a supermax contract, and 60-70% of the contract money in the organization is going to 2 players. You can't win that way. I do not understand, and I am the biggest LeBron fan, why you're doing that. That also brings me to the point of, hey, he's doing a 2-year contract talk of nearly $100 million. That's $50 million a year. You do that, you're never getting any players. That's going to tell me, if he takes that he doesn't think the Lakers can win a championship. He's trying to get his dough. He's waiting for his sons to show up and play with them, and that's it. But if he truly wants to win a championship, they got to do whatever they can to get Kyrie from the Nets, and they got to do whatever they can to get LeBron possibly to sign something a little bit lower, maybe just like $30 million a year, and save that $20 million a year to get more talent so that they can get to the playoffs and ultimately win a championship. But the moral of the story is that Kevin Durant is fed up. He's frustrated in Brooklyn. We're going to see something, maybe not here in the next day or two, but sometime this season there's going to be some drastic moves. Comment down below what you think is going to happen, or what you would do as the management, as the owner of the Brooklyn Nets. And if you like this kind of content and what I'm saying, I know I'm right. I'm an opinionated dude. Make sure you tap that subscribe button and you click the bell so you're notified every time I do a new video. And until the next video, guys, we'll catch you later.